What's up, guys? We are bringing you the Drift 1 go-kart. Let's get My camera didn't work, so I got a little bit of progress done, but I'll explain what I did. Sandblasted and powder coated. Nobody wants to watch that. It's kind of boring, okay? I can show you some powder coating if you want. I can show you all of it. You just got to tell me if you want to see it. I don't want to show you something that's kind of boring, in my opinion. I feel like the fabrication side and, putting it together and driving it is a little more interesting. But let me know what you think. So what I did was I got these hubs from a company, and then I got these tires and wheels off Amazon. They're definitely China. I had to re-drill the wheels, which wasn't a big deal because I saved a few bucks, and they'll work for now because then I can just use these wheels, change out the tires for some better tires, which will be, pretty nice. But that being said, I got our hydro handbrake. I flared it. Every single style that I have, it's not working. It's not sealing. So a friend has another flare kit. I'm gonna go try his and see, but I feel like it's wrong. Might have to get a special fitting for it and then remake my whole line and do a really fancy one. But I was hoping to have this thing done this week, but probably not gonna have it done. Here is our brake caliper, okay, and our brake rotor, okay. Just got to get them clicks, if you know what I mean, okay. That being said, this is a hydraulic brake caliper. It'll work great. Just powder coated chrome. So it's not actual real chrome. It'll just wear off in the spot where the pad is, and then the rest will still look pretty clean. Got to redo this. Need to trim this little tab back here off, and then we got to sandblast this whole thing again. Even though it looks really pretty, it doesn't go with the cart. The purple is the theme for the secondary color. Get this sandblasted, get it re-powder coated, or sandblast it, re-powder coat it, build a different exhaust. This is just a temporary exhaust I built for the motor that was stock on the original project. That being said, yeah, we got everything collared, double collared, so no shifting of the axle, nothing like that. Big nuts, quarter 28 hardware. We're using, because on my initial cart, I had some rubbers, but let me show you. For the seats, I used these to isolate it. It helped big time for the really fine vibrations, but the big vibrations, it still helped, but it wasn't, the drastic change that I was looking for, because obviously being a hard mounted seat and a, hard rigid go-kart, they kind of ride a little rough on off-road. Well, we're going to try and make this ride as nice as possible. Well, found these bushings. Okay, you can get this size in any size, whatever. Well, ended up getting these too. So you can buy these off Amazon in packs. They're gonna claim these as 1 1/8 with probably 3/8 hole. Okay, these, they're about, I don't know, 5/8 thick. But these would work really good as well because they have a little bit more rubber than this initial one that I use. And you can see the size difference, big difference, okay? Well, I'm gonna try these ones out. These are a little more stiffer of a rubber. Try them out, see if I like them. Worst case, don't like them, I'm gonna swap it for this softer one. But we're gonna see, do a little testing, and I'll let you know what the best outcome is. And then now this is a Chinese BM22. I believe I'm gonna run the stock jet in it because this is a stock Predator and it'll run perfectly fine for the gear ratio and everything. We don't need no extra, umph in it because it's literally stock. If it was on a Ghost, I would up the carb jet and then get a little more performance out of it and change this filter so it didn't block the jet ports. Because I noticed that was a big problem. The fuel couldn't atomize and it was soaking the filter, making it run kind of, rich. So that being said, I also am going to be making intake kits. I believe I'm going to run the intake this way, so that way I know they do make kits, but I'm just going to make my own because obviously I can. But I'm going to make it so it flips this way so it's breathing clean air, and then all the dirty air back here is getting blown up by the tires, is getting dispersed and going away, so that way it's breathing as fresh as air as possible all the time. we got the go-kart kind of put together. We're getting the seat mocked up. Right now I'm going to bend some, I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend some square tube up so we can do the back part right here on that one though. Give it that race car kind of look, you know, because that's what I'm calling the Drift 1 go-kart. It looks like an F1 car, but it also drifts like one. Drift 1, you know, simple. Okay, that being said, I'm going to grab some material just here off camera real quick, get it cut, and then we're going to get it put in. From lock. I got this already bent, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as a cheater because I want to get this kind of really dialed. Okay, so we got the back tube cut and bent. All right, so with that being said, this is our one side that we're supposedly wanting, and then here's our other side. Okay, both of these, yeah, we need to take more off. We need to take like, I don't know, another 6 inches. All of 6 inches. Yeah. So we'll take 6 inches off this tube. I already took 4. But we'll take off a little bit more because I'm just not liking how it's coming out. Or 5 inches, so that's 10 inches off. That should put us really, really close. So the only reason I don't want it sticking past the tires is because when you go to get this powder coated, it costs a bunch, right? Well, your tires will fling up rocks and such, and it just beats up that powder coat. So the least amount that we can, you know, damage would be nice, you know, just for you, and you know, that way you have a nicer product for a longer time. I know they're go-karts, but you're also putting a lot of money into them, so you should kind of care about them a little bit. Our part's almost done cutting, as you can hear it. We'll get it jigged up in the bender with our tube clamp, and then we'll cut it, or we'll bend it, and then fit it up, and then trim it down, and then get her mounted up. 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Like, I'm skilled at timing things. Okay, so let's get this bad girl chucked up. Get it stuck in the bender. Actually, we're going to do it this way. So, like this. These new tube clamp blocks that they got for the square are really tight. Somebody must have got a new machine. Or some new tooling, something. That's good quality right there. I mean, I might have to even take off a little bit of material because that's a little tight. A little tight for my liking. But, alright, let's do this. Alright, so that's reset. Now we'll start bending for 90 degrees. Make sure our machine's all good to go, which it is. Gonna get it pumped. Okay, make sure it's zeroed. It's zeroed. Shoot for 94 degrees. When we go for 94 degrees, if you go any more past that, you're going to overextend your ram, and I don't know what it does. It could get stuck. I don't know. But if that happens, you're going to have to figure it out. But you don't go past 94 degrees. That will allow you to have some retracting, so then you can put the new pin into this hole once it reaches here. Because if that hole will be about down here, and once you release it, you got a little bit of wiggle room so you can get it nice in and out and move positions for your ram so you can continue bending. Personally, I love this machine. I've built so many things with it because it is so easy. Okay, I've used a lot of benders. This is the one I honestly prefer. And you know, unless you could buy a $60, $70, $100,000 mandrel bender, you know. But this is the machine to go with, that's for sure. I'm all about maximizing my dollar for my tools. So you can see that that hole is close to lining up. We're going to give it a hand pump, okay, and slide that in. We're going to release it just a little bit based on my experience. I know that, okay. And then we're going to release this, pull the pin, pull it out, okay. All these are new pins. Slow it down a little bit for the camera. And now stick your pin back in. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to put a little bit of pressure on it. That pin should loosen up. Okay, and then I always make sure I can put a pump on it. That way you make sure there's nothing in this hole. Okay, once that's for sure, check everything, continue. What we got going on. All right. And the original Drift go-kart, Drift 1 go-kart, has a design that I truly just love. I love the look of it. I love the side panels. I mean, it's unique. It's, you know, it's our kind of style. So that being said, I kind of want to add the sides like I did. But if I do that, it will add more weight for one, stiffen the frame for two, okay? But it's the look. It's, you know, like otherwise you just kind of have a funky looking built cart, you know, it doesn't flow, it doesn't look good. But what's your thoughts? It's going to get being that this one is the already thick wall outside, it's going to be thick wall outside, or not thick wall, 1 inch, but thin wall outside, just so it matches. But for the rest of the cart, I mean, what should we do? It's kind of hard to say what we should do because I don't fully know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think.